Do you want to add some French flavor to your English? Does that sentence give you a sense of déjà vu? Do you know what a cliché is and why you should avoid it? Have you ever made a faux pas? All this and more coming up. But first, do subscribe to The English Nut. If you already have, thank you. There are thousands of French words in English. Many of them seem so quintessentially English, you'd be surprised to learn that they're French in origin. I'm talking about words like city, different, person, place, and table. It's hard to believe they're derived from French, right? But today I'm going to talk about 3 words or phrases that, well, look and sound French. Each one of them describes an interesting concept, and you'll be the richer for knowing them and being able to use them both while speaking and writing. Has it ever happened to you that you go to a new place and get a strong feeling that you've been there before? Or you meet someone new and feel certain you've met her before? Or suddenly feel in the middle of a conversation that you've had the same conversation before, except that you know that in reality you've never been to that place, met that person, or had that conversation. This feeling of familiarity is known as déjà vu. Déjà vu means already seen in French. So it's an apt phrase to describe this illusion of already having seen or experienced something. It's usually a fleeting experience and it happens out of the blue. It's not well understood by science. In layman's terms, it's best explained as a trick your memory plays on you. Here's how you could use it in a sentence. I had a strong sense of déjà vu when I entered the cathedral. Sometimes the phrase is used in a pejorative way to describe something that seems unoriginal. For example, many scenes in the movie had a sense of déjà vu about them, or the politician's election promises gave me a sense of déjà vu. If you're wondering about the marks over the E and the A in déjà vu, they are called accents or accent in French. The mark tilting to the right over the E is called an accent aigu or acute accent. The mark tilting to the left over the A is called an accent grave or grave accent. These marks influence the pronunciation of the letters. I won't get into an explanation of how exactly they impact pronunciation. It's sufficient to know that the French pronunciation of this phrase is déjà vu. Many people report having had experiences of déjà vu occasionally. I myself have experienced it a few times. How about you? Faux pas is a French phrase that literally means false step or misstep. It's been used in English since the 1670s. Faux means false and pas, in this case, means step. The more common meaning of pas in French is not, but step is another meaning of the word. And as is typical of French pronunciation, the consonants at the end X and S are silent. Faux pas means a social gaffe, something you say or do that causes embarrassment or offense in a social context. For example, mentioning the bride's ex-husband at the wedding was a faux pas that I should have avoided. Or, the president made a faux pas on his state visit when he praised the enemy country. The plural of faux pas is spelled the same as the singular but pronounced faux pas in English, though in French the plural is pronounced the same as the singular. In English you could say after he made several faux pas, he was asked to leave the party. Faux is also used in English to mean fake. For example, fake fur used in the making of coats is called faux fur. Cliché is another word borrowed from French. You can see the accent aigu over the E again. It's because of this accent that we pronounce the word as cliché and not cliche. Cliché means an idea, a saying, or an element of an artistic work that's been overused to the point where it seems unoriginal or loses its impact, or becomes meaningless, boring, and irritating. Photographs of kittens, sunsets, and certain celebrities have become a cliché because we've seen them so often. When you say you're as fit as a fiddle, or time flies when you're having fun, or all that glitters isn't gold, you're using a cliché. The reason people use clichés is that they're often true. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Or life isn't fair. Or only time will tell. All are true. But if you use these phrases, particularly in writing, you'll be considered a poor writer, one who's unoriginal. The first time one of these phrases is used, it seems profound. After it's repeated 100 times, it makes the reader roll his eyes in annoyance. The word cliché has an interesting origin. It's an early 19th century French printing term. It referred to a stereotype, which was a printing plate that could reproduce type or images repeatedly. The clicking sound that the printing process produced gave rise to the word cliché. Over time, the word evolved from meaning text or designs repeated endlessly through printing to describing endlessly repeated ideas or phrases. There's a story about a young man who went to see Shakespeare's play Hamlet and came away saying it had too many clichés. The reason for this is that phrases like neither a borrower nor a lender be, there's method in my madness, and to be or not to be, that is the question, all originated in this play. The poor young man who went to see Hamlet did not know that and thought that Shakespeare had filled his play with clichés. How do you use the word cliché in a sentence? Let's say you're in a fiery argument with your partner. You can tell him or her, your argument is a cliché I've heard 100 times before. At least try to be original. Here's another example. When a man is heartbroken, time heals all wounds is not the cliché he wants to hear. I hope the following phrase has not become a cliché, though I've repeated it many times. I'm the English Nut. Bye for now.